Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. Now, as per usual, with all these videos, if you like them, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And of course, if you really want to, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It really does go a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we are on issue number 60. So we are now 2/3 into this magazine's run. We have 30 issues to go. Well, 30, 20, and yeah, it should be really good fun. So we have some really good stuff to look forward to. Obviously, we have the good old Gene Stealer Cult, which is the next set of minis that we get. We've got the Astra Militarum to look forward to as well, and then we have the World Eaters to look forward to, another Chaos faction in the mix to kind of keep us going. So we have some good stuff to look forward to, so it should be really good fun. But for now, this week, issue 60, we get our good old Ioneer Hearthguard minis. So the 2 frames, 5 bases, 5 minis. They're relatively straightforward to put together. There are some little tiny bits and pieces, so do be careful with things like the little kind of pipes that will connect up to the back of the Ioneer and their weapons and such like that, because trust me, dropping them bits is a pain in the ass. You may know that from the good old what was it, the other ones, some of the other figures that we've had, the good old Chthonian Berserks. They are a pain in the ass. I dropped one of the pieces, not sure where it went. It bounced off underneath a desk and I've not been able to find it. I also managed to break one of them as well, which is also really frustrating. But yeah, it is what it is. If you need to use tweezers, use tweezers. Make sure you use some really good glue as well. Ideally, in all honesty, I'm going to fully recommend the Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. It does dry very quick, which is the end downside to it, but my god, it's tough. It does stink as well, so do be careful with that. So it's quite a noxious smell to it, but it is probably the best glue for plastics that I've used. Yeah, you just kind of brush it on slightly. It will dry pretty quick in the air, but yeah, if you're quick with it, so make sure you've got everything lined up and you're ready to go straight away. Just go like that, done. It essentially melts plastic, so if you've got 2 bits of plastic together, it will melt them together. So it's also really kind of handy to use on things like kind of like the little tiny gaps. When you get a little tiny gap between your figure or anything like that over the kind of lines, sometimes you can just brush over it a little bit, and it will kind of melt it into one, so in a roundabout way, but do be careful with it. So, but yeah, it's really good stuff. Anyway, enough talk about glue. You have build options with these guys, so you have the options for different heads if you want them without helmets. You have the option for helmets. You have a couple of options for half open helmets and stuff like that. You have a couple of options for different crests for your leader of this unit, and you also have some slightly different weapon options as well. So pick your loadout wisely, and by all means, have fun with it. That is the main thing. Have fun with your minis, because I know I will. I enjoy building my minis and I like to have a little bit of fun with doing it. So yeah, happy days, but really cool stuff. Super cool minis. I'm quite looking forward to getting going with them. Anyway, it's a new issue for minis, so we have a build guide. As I say, there are some little parts, so be careful with them. It's not the most fun with all of them parts. So if you need to use tweezers, use tweezers. Otherwise, try not to drop anything. That is the main thing. But yeah, really cool stuff. Once you've built it all, super cool units. They're going to look really nice, and they'll look something like that at the very end, and that's pretty good. Obviously though, you're going to want to paint it, so you have your paint guide for the week. Now, in all honesty, do you really need this paint guide? Not quite. because it is exactly the same as the good old Hearthkin and the other armoured good old Leagues of Votann unit, so not the Chthonian Berserks obviously, but all the other guys. He's pretty much exactly the same. You can paint them up in exactly the same way. They look a little bit bulkier, but then they look uniform with all the other guys, and they fit in really, really well. But yeah, it's very, very straightforward, very, very similar. It's essentially like painting when you go from painting regular Space Marines to the Terminators, for instance. Very, very similar kind of thought process, in my opinion. Paint them in a very similar way, and you're going to have some great looking units when you're done with it. If you're following the guide, you're going to have something that looks a little bit like that. You can obviously do your own little flourishes to it if you wanted to. You can finish it off however you want as well. So if you want to bring up certain colours and make them look slightly different, go for it. Have a bit of fun with it. Enjoy yourself. But really, really cool units. Now, moving on from there, we have a read section, pretty much our last read section for the good old Leagues of Votann, all to do with the Hearthkin. So, the Hearthkin are highly honoured in kin society for the role they play as rangers. They brave the perils of the unknown as they explore uncharted territories and frontier worlds, always looking to expand the interests of the leagues. The desire to delve into the unknown is deeply ingrained in some kin, and many of these become Hearthkin. These intrepid explorers are the furthest travelled of their people, exploring distant stars, mysterious nebulae, and uncharted planets. Most leave their kindreds behind for decades at a time. Their calling is exciting but perilous, for the unknown places of the galaxy conceal many terrors. The greatest risk they take is not just death, but the prospect of dying far from home and their bodies never being returned to the Votann. So, the Hearthkin is in your Hearthkin Pioneers and some other units, which we'll talk about in a second, have one of the biggest risks pretty much in Leagues of Votann society, and that is the fact that they can be completely lost. So they can end up travelling far and wide, dying and never being recovered, or highly unlikely to be recovered. So there is always that risk, and they can encounter many terrors, but they can also encounter potential allies, which is always a bit of an interesting scenario to have for pretty much any of the races, really. So they are obviously your biggest scout unit, and a little bit fun at the same time. So, with these guys, obviously they do like to travel their far space, so they will travel far and wide, roaming wherever they can to find the best resources and do whatever they can to provide for the rest of their kin and expand the interests of the leagues. You have your Hearthkin Pioneers, which obviously we've already had these minis, which are pretty cool, and you also have Hearthkin Jaegerists as well. So these ones are the ones that travel the stars in search of resources their societies need to thrive. Once they have located and secured valuable materials, they are tenacious in holding them against any who would take what they see as rightfully theirs. So for instance, these guys are one of the kill teams from Warhammer 40k Kill Team, and I must admit, I do like them. I probably will pick up a box of them at some point because I do quite like them. I think they're really good. But yeah, super cool. I do genuinely like the Leagues of Votann. I think they're a really cool army. That's why I've got like 30 of the Hearthkin painted. Well, say painted, primed, and ready to paint up properly. So these guys, unfortunately, they are gonna get built. They'll be like the Chthonian Berserks and the good old Hearthkin Pioneers that we've had with this magazine. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until be painted because I want to prime them first and do it that way because it's a little bit easier, in all honesty. Then we have some fiction for the good old Leagues of Votann. This is called Windfall, and it's faction-specific good old fiction. So pretty cool. Pretty interesting, a little bit different. Have a bit of fun with it, enjoy yourself, and yeah, it's practically a one and done, if I remember rightly, with the story. But yeah, pretty cool. Then we're moving on. We've got our collect page for the Ioneer Hearthguard. Obviously, these are warriors. They are an elite strike force of the kin hosts, clad in servo-assisted suits of exo armor, and they are akin to living battering rams that smash aside the enemy with concussion weapons and mass accelerators to break holes in their defensive lines. So these are your very, very tough guys that kind of like to punch through. So kind of Terminators in a way. But yeah, really cool. Obviously you can do your usual, give them a name, paint, tick off, roll for your background, all that good stuff. On the other page, as per usual, you have your data sheet where you already have the data card for these guys. So it's all about that. So you've got all their stats and the fact that they have the high volume attacks as well. So they do have a bit of a boost there as well, which we'll learn over time with these guys. Pretty cool stuff. Then moving on, we have our scenario for the week. Hold the Line. Scenario 37. To play Hold the Line, set up your battlefield on one mat, as shown on the other side of the page. Then players gather their armies. The Leagues of Votann is 1 Carl, a unit of 3 Ioneer Hearthguards, and 2 units of 2 Hearthkin Warriors with Ion Blasters. The Tyrannid force consists of 4 units of 5 Termagants, so 20 in total, and 1 unit of 3 Barbgaunts. So it's fairly straightforward. It's very much your Leagues of Votann are outnumbered, but they are not outgunned. So because they're a little bit tougher on their guns, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. Play it out like that. So you have your leagues kind of more in the middle, and you've got the debris on either side, and your Tyranids coming from that corner, and away you go. Have a bit of fun with it. Enjoy yourself. Pretty decent little scenario, in my opinion. I think it looks really good. I will get around to playing it at some point. Not sure when, but at some point. But yeah, really cool stuff. Then obviously you've got the different special abilities as well, so kind of boosting into them abilities. So obviously different broods. You have your disruption, bombardment, and stuff like that you can utilize and have a bit of fun with it. Pretty cool stuff, really enjoyable, and as per usual, enjoy playing. And if you don't win first time as Tyranids, play again. If you don't win first time as good old Votann, play again. Play as many times as you like until you kind of build up rules, and away you go. Happy days. Moving on from there, obviously next week is issue 61. It will be our first of the Gene Stealer cults, so we get the Magus, which is a pretty cool looking mini. I do like the mini. I think it looks actually really, really nice, even if they are a slaphead. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. It's quite enjoyable. I know there's something about the Gene Stealer cults I do like, and then there's stuff that I don't like about them. And I can't quite put my finger on what I don't like, but the aesthetic of them are really, really good. So some of the units are really cool. The Magus looks really, really nice. The Atalan Jackals, bob on, love them, think they're brilliant, and stuff like that. So we have some really, really good stuff to look forward to, and there'll be some real good fun scenarios coming up with these guys, I imagine, and we'll get a couple more paints. So we're going to get Caliban Green and Wild Rider Red in issue 62, which Caliban Green is a dark green. So if you haven't painted up your orcs, you can use a Caliban Green on a couple if you wanted to give a bit of variation in skin types for your orcs. You don't have to if you don't want to, but the good old Gene Stealer cults do utilise some poisonous weapons, if I remember rightly, as well with these guys. But yeah, so you can utilise it on there, or just use it a little bit of edge in here, there, and everywhere, and yeah, you'll get some really good paint jobs out of it. So, but yeah, super cool, really, really good stuff to look forward to. Obviously, we have some cool vehicles to look forward to with the Gene Stealer cults. We have some cool stuff to look forward to with the Astra Militarum, which can be done in various ways as well. So they are the human faction. The main paint scheme is like tan and green, But in all honesty, I've seen people do camo paint schemes on them and everything like that. But we'll go through that at a later date. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.